Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the regular Board of Trustee meeting, the Village of Glenwood for Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026. Thank you all in person and via YouTube. Stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. The meeting is officially starting at 7 p.m. Roll call, Clerk Durban.
Trustee Hadnot.
Here.
Trustee Roll.
Here.
Trustee Taylor.
Present.
Trustee Williams. Present. Trustee Brown.
Here.
Trustee Mosley.
Here.
We have a quorum, thank you. I would like to move to enter into, a motion to move into, enter into executive session pursuant to Section 2C2 of the Illinois Open Meetings Act to discuss collective negotiation matters between the public body and its employees or their representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees, with action to be taken and a reason to convene.
Second.
Clerk Durban calls the roll.
Trustee Mosley.
Yes.
Trustee Brown.
Yes.
Trustee Williams. Trustee Taylor.
Yes.
Trustee Roll. Trustee Hadnot.
Yes.
Okay. At 7:03 p.m., we'll enter into session.
All right.
I need a motion to reconvene from closed session at 7:22 PM.
So moved.
Clerk, Irvin, call the roll.
Trustee Hadnot.
Yes.
Trustee Roll. Yes. Trustee Taylor.
Yes.
Trustee Williams. Trustee Brown.
Yes.
Trustee Mosley.
Yes.
I need a motion for approval of the regular board meeting minutes of February 17th.
I'll make that motion.
Clerk, call the,
I have a comment.
any questions?
Yeah. I just want to,
Me? I'm sorry, Trustee Brown.
sure.
Can you call Trustee Brown, your question? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I just wanted to amend the minutes just to include that I asked Deputy Chief McLennan, I asked him, had he ever been considered for fire chief, or I asked him why he never accepted fire chief since he was deputy for like 27 or something plus years. And then he said that he was offered to be a fire chief before. He turned it down because he's a great number 2 guy, he discovered. I'd like those comments to be included in the minutes.
Ooh,
I'll be happy to amend my motion.
have someone to amend the motion.
Amended.
Amend, right, right.
And then if you guys want to amend it, then you go on the
Okay.
first motion needs to be a motion to accept the amendment as stated. That's how.
I accept Trustee Brown's amendment.
Okay. Now I need,
We got to vote.
clerk, call.
Trustee Hadnot.
Yes.
Trustee Roll.
Yes.
Trustee Taylor.
Yes.
Trustee Brown.
Yes.
Trustee Mosley.
Yes.
Trustee Williams.
We have a quorum. Can I get a motion to accept the amended minutes for February the 17th?
Oh, we just did that.
You said something.
Yeah.
So moved.
Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Hadnot.
Yes.
Trustee Roll. Trustee Taylor.
Yes.
Trustee Williams. Trustee Brown.
Yes.
Trustee Mosley.
Yes.
At this time is public comments for agenda items only. No public comments. Bills payable, Jensen.
Thank you, everyone. Bills payable, February 25th, 2026, corporate fund, $135,608.32. Motor fuel tax fund, $325.60. Water account, $47,381.24. TIF Industrial Park, $1,397.50. TIF Main Street, $806.25. Glenwood Golf Course, $8,611 even. And TIF Halsted South, $55,868 even. For a total of all funds, $249,997.91.
A motion to approve corporate funds for a total amount of $249,997.91.
I'll
So
make
moved.
that motion.
Second.
Any questions? Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Mosley,
Yes.
Trustee Roll, Trustee Williams. Trustee Taylor,
Yes.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Hadnot.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passed. Jansen, payroll.
So payroll for the check dated February 20th, 2026, administrative, $19,082.09. Public Works, $13,139.43. Police Department, $103,910.39. Fire Department, $19,827.12. Senior Center, $345.99. Elected positions, $7,350.87. Sewer and Water, $24,401.80. Glenwood Golf Course, $12,287.22, with a total payroll of $200,344.91. We did have a reimbursable amount of $454.28. So that brings the grand total payroll down to $199,890.63.
Thank you, Jansen. A motion for payroll, check date February the 20th, 2026, for a total amount of $199,890.63.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any questions?
I have a quick question. Are you going to send us the overtime?
It was an oversight. I thought I had sent it and
Okay.
slipped my apology.
Nope.
I'll send it to you this evening.
Thank you.
Welcome. Any other questions? Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Williams. Trustee Taylor,
Yes.
Trustee Roll,
Yes.
Trustee Hadnot,
Yes.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Mosley.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passed. Communications from the mayor's office. In recognition of Women's History Month, we honor the remarkable women who have led, served, and strengthened our communities with grace and integrity. Their contributions, often made with quiet resilience and unwavering determination, have shaped our institution, advanced equality, and inspired future generations. As we reflect on their legacies, we are reminded that true leadership is grounded not only in vision and strength, but in character, compassion, and accountability. May we women who serve on this board continue to serve with grace, lead with integrity, and create opportunities that empower women and to thrive today and beyond. I would like to have a motion to approve the payment of the OM Glenwood in the amount of $50,000.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Questions?
Yes, question. Although it is on the agenda for approval, didn't we almost pretty much approve this based upon this amount being in the bills payable into this check run?
A part of the bills payable also was a part of the RDA agreement for the reimbursement for TIF eligible expenses. So they submitted all the documentation that they're eligible for reimbursement based on redevelopment agreement for Wingstop.
So has it already been paid, or
I'm sorry?
has it already been paid?
No, it has not already been paid. The check is in the bills payable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Yeah, I'd just like to clarify that we will continue, and please correct me if I'm wrong. This trustee had not just talked to me about this. We will continue to pay $50,000 at whatever interval until we reach 1.2 million? That's not right?
That's not correct.
Okay, please correct me.
The RDA agreement, as it was drawn up and approved by the board, I believe in 2022 initially, said two things. The first was 30 days after the developer substantially completes their project, they're entitled to $50,000 towards their acquisition cost. They approached us having substantially completed their construction, having 2 of the 3 storefronts open, they were entitled to that initial $50,000 payment. The remainder of this agreement, they are, they will submit reimbursable costs based on what's outlined in the, those costs will be certified as good or not good, or eligible or not eligible under this agreement. And every year after they pay their property taxes for the prior year, the reimbursable eligible costs will only be 50% of what they paid in tax increment on that prior tax bill. Not what their entire property tax bill was, not what they paid to the village or school district, what their portion of their property tax bill that they paid into the TIF. They will be eligible for 50% reimbursement of that amount. If at some point during the life of this agreement, they were to get to that 1.25 number, it would stop. But based on the presumed assessment of the property and their presumed property tax bills, I find it hard to believe they will ever get to that number. But if they were to ever be paid 1.25 million by the village, that would mean they have paid over 2.5 million into the TIF.
So there's 50,000 there for the land. Yes.
Any other questions? Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Roll,
Yes.
Trustee Mosley,
Yes.
Trustee Taylor,
Yes.
Trustee Williams, Trustee Hadnot.
Yes.
Number 2, I am seeking a motion requesting the board's authorization to enter into a fiscal agreement for outside fiscal contracting service to ensure we meet all required compliance and reporting obligations while staff continues to perform commendable work. The scope and complexity and the technical expertise required under current fiscal and regulatory requirements exceed what can reasonably be managed by one individual while also maintaining strong controls. It is neither sustainable nor appropriate that I, as the mayor, be responsible for completing or signing off on internal financial reports. Proper separation of independent oversight are essential to sound governance. Engaging qualified outside financial professionals with necessary expertise, strengthen accountability, ensure clear monitoring of deliverables, and this action is intended to reinforce transparency, compliance, and fiscal responsibility while avoiding the gaps in oversight and accountability that we've experienced in the past. So I respectfully ask for your support in authorizing it to move forward, but also wanted to say that in that pricing list that as I sent the previous email communication, that I've had conversations with several different forms. So those pricing amounts would be the cap amount, as we will look at what we would need. So it wouldn't be as if we're entering in this agreement that it would be ongoing for an extended period of time. They will be used on assignment projects in order to complete reporting and look at some internal controls. Can I get a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any questions?
I have more of a comment. Well, I guess I have quasi questions and comments. One, how will the new accounting system aid in our financial situation?
You saying the
If how will the new accounting system affect us?
that, as you're aware, that having that software transfer current data to it, so we would have to get to having good data to transfer. So it would be not an immediate transfer or a lift, but once we get the reporting and the financial piece to a place that the data is reliable, it would certainly be worth the price for that particular software.
Okay, and can we do anything on the accounting firm asking to provide outside contractors instead of their own people. In other words, it'd be best for us if they provided the same people all the time.
Oh, we would enter into having two of the primary staff to have it for consistency.
Okay.
Mhm.
I have a few questions. It's kind of, I don't even know if we could really answer all of them because they're not here. But some of the questions that I have, for example, I know you just said that the pricing is capped. Right, okay. On this contract, excuse me, it says initially our services with you will be provided by the following team members. One is a partner, that's John. The other one is a manager, that's Kyle, and then Katie. Well, John's hourly rate is $305. Kyle's is $200 an hour. And then Katie's is $175 an hour. So my question is, I don't even know, again, if you could even answer this. How many hours do we anticipate paying these people this money? Because we don't want to get into another I know you're not going to let it, but we don't want to get into another like Miller Cooper. They bled us dry, or tried to.
We won't be using all of those. Those are prices to let you know if we needed those services. What would happen is that we will have a meeting with the fiscal team and the whatever, and then we will gauge a plan and then determine which one of those brackets it may fall into, because we may be able to do some of that work with the intern at that $85 rate that's on there. So it all depends. So this is the first of getting authorization to enter into a contract for contractual service. Then we will have a plan, and it will be by an assignment base in order to close out 2023, while 2023, while we simultaneously work on 24 at the same time.
Okay, here's my next question. When they say that the village, okay, a lot of times the verbiage is the village, the village, the village. Who is the village?
We are the village.
So all of us. I didn't know if it was just you and JR constitute the village, or all of the board, et cetera, or the village.
Constitute that the village is entering into a contract with.
Got it. Okay, here's another one. Excuse me. You understand and agree that we may withdraw from the present engagement at any time for any reason at our sole discretion. How do they do that?
Is that will?
They could
I
just
could-
say, you know what, we don't want to do this anymore, and just leave us.
And we can say, we don't want you to do it anymore, and have them to leave. Mhm.
I got one more. The chart says all of the service descriptions, I'm not going to go through all the service descriptions, but it says on one description, it would be monthly, and the rest of them will be annually, and there's one that's ongoing. So if we don't know how long necessarily that we're going to have them,
Once I meet with them, I will know exactly how long we will have them. A standard contract language will let you know that they could provide services on a monthly or annual basis. The intent behind this is to get us caught up and to simultaneously work on 2 fiscal years to circumvent having past due failures of reports of accruing daily fees. So that is the purpose of entering into that, so that we can maintain our internal controls, and that I'm not completing reports and signing off on reports and uploading reports as I have done.
okay.
Mhm.
This question is for Felicia, Attorney Felicia. It says the village warrants, et cetera, about personal data. So it will limit personal data, but personal data is consists of protected health information, financial account numbers, social security numbers, government-issued ID numbers. Why would this company have access, or why would we want them to have access to health information?
Well, I think it's,
I'm just,
That's,
if you are, typically they do not. They have to include that because let's say, for example, typically they do not, but they have to include that information because if they're doing an audit, let's say an audit of some sort, and they have access to, records in which that information is intermingled, they're just letting you know that that's information, data that they have to protect, but they typically would not have or need to even access that information.
and that's basically Trustee Brown just saying that they understand and will maintain confidentiality. And because of in your fiscal records, they also do audit payroll and certain other information related to pension.
that's not what that says here. But, okay. I don't want somebody to try to do something. I just want to be clear because everybody knows we've had so many data breaches from cell phone companies, from hospitals. I've had so many data breaches from just my social security number alone and my children's that I'm leery when someone says health information and, et cetera. That's why I asked that question. How can we protect ourselves from having those type of breaches?
Yes.
Good question. Any other questions?
I do. I understand and support efforts of what you're trying to do. I guess for me, can you outline maybe a budget? Because it's really not clear to me how much money that we're gonna spend. I understand that we want to engage their services, but how do we know how much we're gonna spend or what the budget? It's not, that part is not clear to me, so maybe if you can elaborate on that.
I can't elaborate on exactly what a budget will consist of, but what I, will continue to do is keep the board apprised of where we at reporting. Once that we have a meeting to determine what the actual work would look like, it will look like being able to provide some structure around the 2 part-time staff of what their capabilities are, of what they can or can't do, so that we're maximizing the staff that we have to do the work. So we would carve out a plan, and as always, keeping in mind what budget is, what the budget is to be able to do.
I mean, I appreciate that. Yes, for me, I understand what you're attempting to do, which I agree with that. I think for me, I would just be more comfortable knowing what our upfront obligation is or the cost. Because right now, it just sounds like if we engage and the board approves this tonight, I don't want us to have an open checkbook or a dollar amount that we're not aware of to be conscious of.
We don't have sufficient financial funds to have open checkbook,
Right.
first and foremost, but it would be a lot less costly of us being fined $12,000 a day for the non-reporting. And so in keeping that in mind, would be cognizant of what it is, so it wouldn't be an open book of what it is. Once in having a meeting to outline what the actual service is, then can actually, the board at your discretion can cut it off to an amount there. I think that would be premature to say $20 to come. I think the best course of action is to move forward, and then after having the meeting to be able to act, right, to say this is the plan that we need to get us to where we need to be. At the end of the day, we do not have the skill set at the table to be able to provide the necessarily internal control and the support and the complexity of the reporting. I am, currently doing the uploading, and that's not sustainable. So I think it would behoove us to be able to get that expertise in, to be able to evaluate. I can assure you that we won't have an open checkbook to it, but I need to be able to assess and to provide some structure and directions to the staff with regards to what their actual role would be to monitor that on a weekly basis. So after that initial meeting, I think it's Friday, then I can, certainly shoot an email and say or in saying for those first 30 days that we will. It was not my intentions to ever to have a partner, to have to oversee any of that work, but was hoping to be able to have that consultation that can help drive a structure for the 3 staff that we have, that,
So,
to be able to provide Brian the necessary support he needs in order to get the stuff done. As I said earlier, he's doing a commendable, as a one-man shop, he cannot get us to where we need to be.
can I just add something? Their office, Casperic's office has been, they work with a couple of my municipalities, and just, they do not have a set, like if you're looking for, it's going to be $5,000 a month. It doesn't work like that, because it all depends on the work that they're doing in that month. And so you have to appreciate that initially your bills are going to be higher because there's some ramp up. Like, they've got to come in, they've got, especially if there's a lot to do, and they're going to have to come in, get the work done. But there's not a set, typically there's no set amount, because it's really going to depend on what they're doing from month to month. And one month, it's like in the beginning, they probably will have a lot to do. And then you'll see as they kind of, depending on how long they stay, as they start to understand what's going on and get a grip of what's going on, those bills shouldn't be as high as they are in the months. But to answer your question, there's no $7,500 a month. It's $5,000 a month. It doesn't work that way, because it just varies month to month on what you guys are having them do.
And so, unlike historically, what I want to do is be able to structure a financially feasible plan for us to move forward, to dig ourselves out of the hole that we are in, given a limited time frame to come up with the waiver, the temporary waiver that I was able to get, that we don't incur $1,000 a month.
So I have a question.
Mhm.
You have an initial meeting with the company next week?
Yes,
Okay. After that meeting,
Mhm.
you will have a better idea of what work
the
needs
scope
to
of
be,
work. Yes,
done. So with that, could there possibly be an estimate of the cost of that?
yes,
And could
Yes.
that be brought back to us?
absolutely, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely,
So
absolutely.
we can expect to have it on the next agenda.
That, yes, but what I need is the authorization to move forward. Otherwise, we're just having a conversation, then I
I
gotta come
understand.
back. Right, and so that certainly, but I could assure you that it'll be monitored and supervised in a structured way that makes sense, right? That it, like Attorney Frazier said, we're gonna have some pressure points only because we're 4 years behind. And that the new they're not interested in why they're not done. So we do not want to be on the nonstop payment list, nor do we want to incur that. But I also don't want us to run into troubles down the road, because I'm signing off on Jansen's work, and I'm uploading it, and I'm signing it. And so it makes sense to have them in, to structure with the staff that we have, to see what skills that we have that can actually do the work to design it, and what they will need to do. But I can tell you that Jensen did meet with us with regards to the 2023 audit and where we were at. And it was, recommended that, we do some things differently. And so trying to structure this so that we can simultaneously work on 2024 would be advantageous. And so I have assured our outside, I was going to say funders, but our external reporting agencies that we are serious about moving forward and that we would have a plan to be able to ensure that we're simultaneously working on getting us caught up.
I mean, I agree with everything that you're saying. I think for me, what makes me uneasy about it is just the unknown, that unknown, that number. But I know that that's something that has to be figured out. So I'm hearing you all. I'm listening. But, we have a fiduciary duty, right, before we approve something. I'm just trying to understand that magic number.
No guarantees in life, and so it's unfortunate that we're here. And what I don't want to do is to say, okay, we'll do. And as I said, that if it's at the board's leisure that you want to amend that motion and put an arbitrary number in there, that's fine. That's fine. But I, in understanding budgets and numbers, certainly understand what the need is. I understand the need to work within the budget. I also understand that we have a finance director position that is not, filled in there. So if I had to give an arbitrary number, it would be to stay within that time frame. But I didn't want to give them that number or whatever, so that then you think and you have up into that amount. So I wanted to be able to compare apples with apples and look at what the actual needs are to put that within there, keeping in mind in the back of my head that I have an arbitrary number that we will not.
All right. A couple more comments for you, or question. Here it says that increases in rate will occur annually on May 1st. We're almost at May 1st. And upon promotions, I guess they'll be promoting within. And then it says, an updated memo will be provided to the village annually with all updated rates. In addition to the hourly rates, our billing will include any directly related out-of-pocket expenses incurred on your behalf. Question number one, is this, before we even get into an agreement with them, is this increase going to be this May?
No.
Okay, thanks. And then what kind of related out-of-pocket expenses will we incur, or they incur on our behalf, for example?
I don't anticipate any, but again, I would believe that would be standard language. Let's say they have to mail something, out of pocket postage, or maybe some unusual transportation or travel,
Okay, so we can scratch this May 1st for the increase?
What you're actually doing is approving and looking at what the engagement letter, the staff rates are, what those actual rates are. And then once we have laid out that scope of work, then I can give you a better gauge of, what that financial output would be.
Okay, I promise, this is my last, I just want to be
No.
clear. So we are,
Ask as
okay,
many questions as you need.
thank you. We are approving or not for you to have, I'm sorry,
Enter into the.
just have a discussion with them and then,
I'm asking you to approve for me to enter into an engagement with Casper to provide fiscal contract services. And
So-
these are their current rates.
If we knew that we needed help, I think that's where Miller and Cooper and Adam and all those other people came into, because we knew we needed to help. Why did we, well, okay. Why didn't we get to this part sooner than letting the long gap go into play between the last company and now this new company? And the last part of that is, where did you all get this new company? Why do you think that they're really good at what they do? You know, where did they come from?
That the first part of your question, I can't answer why the previous village administrator or the administration in whole had us to get to this point. The second part is in the email that I sent to you. I sent to you a list of all of the contractual and staff who I have been speaking with, who have been providing me pre bono consultation around ideas around digging us out. For expediency, Casper was the firm that had staff available that could help us right now. Any other questions? Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Mosley,
Yes.
Trustee Hadnot,
Yes.
Trustee Taylor, Trustee Brown,
Abstain.
Trustee Williams, Trustee Roll.
Thank you. Motion passed. Attorney's report.
Good evening. The first is a motion to the regularly scheduled March 17th board meeting to Monday, March 16th at 7 p.m. to comply with the Open Meetings Act. As you know, that's election day, and so you cannot have the board.
I ask for a motion to move the regularly scheduled March 17, 2026 board meeting to Monday, March 16, 2026 at 7 p.m.
So moved.
I'll second.
Attorney Felicia, I believe that April 1st, like when the voting was April 1st, wasn't it a board meeting on April 1st
It always has been.
of last year? So what happened this year with the Open Meetings Act that we can't have a meeting on Tuesday?
It's been changed. I mean, I can.
Oh,
General Assembly updated the open meeting.
Wait, what'd you say?
The General Assembly updated the Open Meetings Act that
Yeah.
this went into effect on January.
Change it.
6th.
I mean, I can send it.
got it.
We actually sent it to, yeah, Ross actually sent the revised Open Meeting Act. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, the board received it.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Did you call the roll?
Mm-mm.
He did.
He didn't call the roll yet.
Oh, okay. You got a first and second? Okay. Any other questions? Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Taylor,
Yes.
Trustee Hadnot,
Yes.
Trustee Roll,
Yes.
Trustee Mosley,
Yes.
Trustee Williams, Trustee Brown.
Yes.
Next is consideration and approval of a successor agreement between map number 612 and the Glenwood, with the term of the contract would be May 1st, 2025 to April 30th, 2028.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any questions?
For general knowledge, can we explain what map 612 is?
Metropolitan Alliance of, right, that's the name of the union. So some are Teamsters, you have AFSCME, you have Fraternal Order of Police, and this is Metropolitan Alliance of. That's the-
I just want a clarification for everybody in the room.
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay. Any other questions? Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Williams. Trustee Taylor.
Yes,
Trustee Mosley.
Yes.
Trustee Hadnot.
Yes.
Trustee Brown.
Yes.
Trustee Rowe.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passed. Village Administrator.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank Chief Petticord, Deputy Chief Wilbanks, Attorney Kerry Horvath, Sergeant Burke, Officer Fisher, MAP 612, and this village board, and Mayor Hart, and this village board for 8 months of negotiations that led to this agreement that the village board just approved. It's a great deal for the village, and I'm happy to move forward now with labor peace settled through April of 2028 with our police union. So thank you to the board. Thank you to all of those individuals I mentioned that were part of the bargaining process. It wasn't easy to get here, but I'm glad that we're here tonight. So thank you all for that. Additionally, the board just approved moving the March 17th meeting to March 16th. There will be a committee of the whole meeting scheduled prior to the board meeting on March 16th, probably for 6:30. The mayor and I still have to finalize that. There will be a presentation about some ordinance changes that will be proposed at the board meeting on the 16th. But we're going to have a committee of the whole meeting ahead of time to get through a lot of that because it's going to be a little bit, there's going to be a lot of moving parts. There's going to be a number of suggested ordinance changes as it relates to our utility billing process. So water billing process, fees associated to water billing. So we've got a pretty massive proposal that has been worked on over the last several months that will be coming for the board's consideration at that board meeting at 7 o'clock. So we're going to have the committee of the whole ahead of time so that the board members, we can do the presentation, the public has an opportunity to see it, and we have the appropriate amount of time to kind of talk through all of the moving pieces. Again, the board will receive information about this prior to the meeting, similar to a lot of the other bigger things that have been put before you. I'll try and lay it out as succinctly as I can ahead of time, but that's going to be scheduled for probably 6:30 on the 16th. The only other item that I have tonight are the two approvals for you. If you'll recall, about 6 weeks ago, I think, we had the initial letters of intent for these two cell phone tower easement agreements. Trustee Taylor, you had asked me back then kind of timeline on this. And when we would get to this point. We got here a lot quicker, I think, than I suggested we might back then. But before you tonight are the final easement agreements, subject to final attorney review. As of this afternoon, the attorneys were going back and forth, basically just moving a couple of commas within the language, but the language is largely settled. These would be to enter into those agreements for the lease of both of those easements at 9 South Rebecca and 120 North Main. The goal here would be to close within 45 days of approval tonight. So, to go along with the timeline that we discussed a few meetings back, closing would be, the goal is 30 to 45 days because there's still some final attorney review. I'm pushing towards the 45 days, but we could be closing as soon as 30. So I would ask the board to kind of verify what we approved a few weeks ago. Nothing has really changed materially. The dollars and cents are still the same. The terms are still the same. There were a couple of tweaks in some of the language as it relates to future responsibilities of the leaseholder and what the village gets. So we wanted to make sure that 50-50 revenue share split in the future was codified in the language. We wanted to make sure that these agreements did not preclude us from going out and seeking similar agreements on our other cell tower sites. So we got all of that. So that's what you have before you tonight. And then under the police report, there is 2 more motions for purchase of equipment that I believe Chief mentioned at the last meeting. But if there are questions about those, Chief can answer those during his report. So thank you.
Sorry about I'm with you. A motion for approval of the easement agreement between the Village of Tower Park regarding 102.
And I'll second.
Okay. Any questions? Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Taylor,
Yes.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Rowe,
Yes.
Trustee Mosley,
Yes.
Trustee Williams, Trustee Hadnot.
Yes.
A motion for approval of easement agreement between the Village of Glenwood and Tower Point for regarding location 9 South Rebecca.
So move.
I'll second.
Any questions? Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Hadnot,
Yes.
Trustee Williams, Trustee Mosley,
Yes.
Trustee Rowe,
Yes.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Taylor.
Yes.
Motion to approve the purchase of ammunition from parent and not to exceed $9,500.60.
So move.
I'll second.
Any questions? Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Mosley,
Yes.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Williams, Trustee Taylor,
Yes.
Trustee Rowe,
Yes.
Trustee Hadnot.
Yes.
A motion to approve the purchase of 16 ballistic vests from Rail Aaron, not to exceed $15,835.
So move.
Any questions? Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Mosley,
Yes.
Trustee Rowe,
Yes.
Trustee Williams, Trustee Taylor,
Yes.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Hadnot.
Yes.
Thank you. All motions passed. Any new business? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Oh, the quote that was in the board package.
Yes.
For the pump.
Right.
That'll be on the agenda for next month.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Old business.
I do have a question on old business. Have we received payment from the amended RDA from Opeka Enterprises?
I'm sorry.
Have we received payment from the amended RDA for Opeka Enterprises?
No,
We have not.
no.
Any reason why?
Opeka, are we talking about Tuscan Garden?
Uh-huh.
Why they didn't pay? You asking why they didn't pay?
No, I'm asking, so in the amended RDA, right?
For Tuscan Garden?
For Tuscan Gardens, we approved a settlement amount,
Yes.
received those amounts. That was the question.
No, they haven't paid. They have not. All right.
Okay.
You want to expound? I can't tell you why they didn't
No,
pay.
I was just gonna say that there's an active litigation
I
ongoing
guess.
that has continued,
Yeah.
that is continuing to ongo because they have not honored the
Yeah.
agreement that this board.
Yeah, they didn't honor the agreement. They didn't
I'm
pay.
asking because I wasn't aware that they didn't honor the amended RDA.
The existing litigation that
Right.
was in effect before is still there. It's still out
Right.
there. They to date have not honored did not sign the agreement that this board extended them in November. So that litigation continues to move forward. There's not really an update there. They've not been willing to discuss further.
Thank you.
Yes.
I have a question. Are you finished, Camille?
Yes.
Trustee, I'm sorry. What's the status with Glenwood Roller Rink and Glenwood Oaks?
Glenwood Roller,
I was just going to say that we're still in negotiations. We don't have a current status on the skate rink. I think we have a meeting scheduled to meet with them this week or next week. Thursday, we're meeting with Mr. Curtis Ponce regarding the skating rink, and we are waiting for follow-up from the Oaks in response to legal correspondence that was sent to them. So I don't have any current updates.
Is Glenwood Oaks still open?
I believe
open.
they're open for events.
So how long is this, Attorney Felicia, how long does this last? Like Glenwood Oaks has owed us money for a while, Tuscan Gardens also. We're still in litigations with both. So is Glenwood Oaks going to be up for sale, or they're just stringing us along as far as quote unquote payment is concerned? Tuscan Garden, they're still open. They're not paying us anything. How do we, other than, I know you can't tell us what's happening in the litigation, how long do we go through this?
Litigation can last
Years.
years, and there's no way to determine. I wouldn't even try to give you an estimate, 3, 4 years. I mean, hopefully it doesn't, but you just don't know.
Which one of these businesses is closer to paying us anything than the? Well, one is different. I mean, one is a millionaire, the other one is not. So which one in either one of the three do you?
It would be irresponsible of us to make that assumption of what they could upon taking the seat. We evaluated, we assessed it, we came to the table in good faith to try to bring some resolve, and it fell through, so it's currently in litigation, and that's all we could say at this point.
Okay.
Open to the public, 3 minutes. Okay. She can sit. You can hear. You can sit. You can sit.
So regarding the Glenwood Road rate,
Mhm.
I'm just asking, the people were saying that they had purchased it, about to start renovation on it. So obviously what they were talking about is untrue. It's true.
No, they have purchased the roller rink, and that they ask the village to entertain possibilities, some TIF funding. And so we need to be able to look at what their financial standing is to be in a position, draft up some type of legal agreement to protect the village interests as well as theirs.
So you just said they asked for funding also?
Yes,
Okay.
but they did purchase this.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and trustees and fellow residents and staff. I had a couple of questions in respect to the issue with regard to Tuscan Gardens. I thought that was a settled issue. It was on the agenda several meetings back that we were entering into some kind of a compromise. Is that no longer
We
operable?
entered into an agreement, it's defaulted on the agreement.
They defaulted.
Yes,
So that's the first we're hearing about that.
it's
That's
under litigation. That's all I can
okay.
say.
Thank you very much.
Mhm,
But I
you're welcome.
wanted to announce in terms of public safety, we're testing for policemen and firefighters this coming Saturday. We have 19 applicants for the police position. We had 6 for the firefighter positions, and we will be testing those individuals this coming Saturday. So we just wanted to make sure that you are aware of it. I know the mayor and JR and the chiefs are aware of it. Just want to bring you up to date. Okay?
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Murdoch, 1102 West Wisconsin Street. I'd just like to possibly add something to what was being discussed a moment ago with the aforementioned organizations or the businesses that are not current with their payments. If we go into the future doing something of that nature, is there a possibility you can do an agreement that simply says that if they make an arrangement with you and they're supposed to pay you X amount of money, can we just basically enter into an action where you can say that our money's being taken out of their banks automatically, as opposed to them writing a check for us every time so that they can keep current with their payments as opposed to us falling behind the 8 ball time? If there's a possibility, I'd like to know that. That's question number one. Question number two, we're talking about a lot of money every payment, about all the money's being paid out. I remember when you first took office, they said to the current mayor, said we had about $23 million that was in the threshold. I'd like to know possibly where we stand now, only because of the fact that it seems like there's a lot of money going out. Like we were discussing, there's such as the question Ms. Brown had about the amount of money being spent out and not knowing for certain. I'm just curious to say if we can, unless you just had to tell me that in private, how much
It's
money
taxpayers'
got, that's all.
dollars. It's nothing that's private. The first part of your question, as we enter into new agreements, we look at all options. So that's feasible. To your first question, to your second questions, those amounts that floated around included restricted funding that we don't have at our disposal to use.
Didn't answer the question what we got, because if we did it, it wouldn't pass. How much we have in our reserve right now? We had 23 million when you took office. Are you saying that you can't disclose that now?
We didn't have 23 million when I took office, operational use. I can't speak to what he said.
It was noted, that's all I'm asking.
I only can speak to currently, dollars amount that was previously disclosed included restrictions, funds that you don't have for operational for the sake of budgeting. You have to utilize your operational funds to be able to have operationals reporting that out. So when I took office, we had roughly about 7 to 9, don't quote me, roughly of operational funds to use for budget purposes. You're welcome. Any other public comments? Like a motion?
So moved. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Too late.
Just have a question. How are the relationships with the Glenwood Village and like the rest of the businesses that are here? Like we know Arnello's is leaving right after 50-something years. And then we know that tornado, I don't know, I can't remember how to pronounce it. On the corner there is a mini mart or what have you with a lot of less than positive advertising that's going on right around our school districts, right? You got the junior high school, you got the Hickory Bend, you got the middle school, all those kids walking past and they vape, vape this, do that, and then we have just the other rest of businesses that are there. How are our relationships in terms of, are they supporting other, when we have not little, but when there are events and things put on by the city, like do they sponsor or come out or do things in the community? And the reason I'm asking is I just sat here and heard how Tuscan Gardens entered into an agreement. I was here that meeting when you all talked about making some concessions for them, and then they defaulted on it. Glenwood Oaks Restaurant has been here for years. They entered into an agreement, and then they defaulted on it, almost like they're not respecting the city and the relationships that we have. So what does that look like for, the rest of the businesses here?
I can say since taking office and meeting with the business to establish relationships, because we believe that that's important. But we also have to keep in mind that we're sandwiched in between Glenwood and you go less than 20 minutes and you're in Indiana. And so it's more attractive there. But you also have to look at the economy and the tourists and everything that goes along with that, that it has to also be financially beneficial to the business. So we are in the process of doing assessments with regards to economic growth, to recruit new business and what that looks like to try to bring new business to the village of Glenwood.
Will we be aware of that, or we just have to wait until the final decision?
I was just going to say, as we begin to talk to developers, completing the map that the village administrator is working on, putting out pings for RFP for parcels that we have, that as those work their way through the different required committees, it becomes public information.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You had a question, Trustee Brown?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. A motion for meeting adjourned?
So moved.
Okay. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Hadnot,
Yes.
Trustee Roll,
Yes.
Trustee Taylor,
Yes.
Trustee Williams, Trustee Brown.
Yes.
Trustee Mosley.
Yes.